So the only news that I have about this is that I finished the sweater.
Ooh.
I'm gonna block it tonight. And the only thing after I block it that I have to do is steam down my steeks, because I steeked the hood. I put a hood in it.
Oh wow!
And so I put a. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
I put a corrugated rib on the edge
Nice.
of the hood, and there's my steek. See it? It's cut, and
Wow.
I like to use a blanket stitch to cover it a little bit, just to protect it. And then this is my facing, which will go over it.
I love the facing. That's such a nice touch.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's
Beautiful.
and so I need to, when I block it, I need to block this out, because otherwise my facing will ruffle. And I just had this like little bit of alpaca that I thought would be really soft around my face. So that'll pull out.
That's
and
cool.
that'll pull out like that. And then I thought I would put, so when I block it, I need to block the facing and the corrugated ribs so that they're the same size. Yeah. But I also did not seam down the Henley part because I needed the room to block it. Does that make sense? There's my
That is cool. So, Lorraine, I have a question. So that the steek part is the burgundy, the red.
No, this is the facing. This is the facing.
Stitches?
Pardon?
And then you cut into the red?
I didn't cut into the red. I cut, let's see here. This was, so for me, a steek takes up 9 stitches. So you knit 4, you purl 1, and you knit 4. And that in the round, right? You're always going in the round. So that purl stitch gives you a nice straight cut line. You just cut along that purl, flip it inside out and just cut along that purl. So you don't lose a lot. So that would be, so this is my pickup. This is my pickup to do the corrugated rib. And I actually did that in the round. So there's the steek that I cut there. But this is the steek. These are my steek stitches right here. And they would go like this. So ignore the corrugated ribs. If I can move.
Lift it up higher, please, Lorraine. We can't see.
Can you see
Oh,
it?
there we go.
That would, this from here to here, these pieces right here, that's my steek.
That's
So
the
when I
steek.
cut it, those are my 4 stitches, my purl, and my 4 stitches. When I cut it, I opened it up.
So the other outer edge, the collar and the hood, that's added on. You picked up.
I
Oh,
picked
okay.
up. I picked this up. I picked this up, and I did an I-cord bind off when I was done with this. And then I flipped it inside out and picked up in my I-cord bind off. I picked up with my alpaca into my I-cord bind off and just knit enough to cover, like a facing, to cover my steek.
Ah, brilliant.
And Lorraine, do you seam that down?
I am. When I'm all done and when I have it blocked so that, because a corrugated rib kind of pulls in a bit.
Uh-huh.
And even though I did a swatch and I picked up my stitches, you know, I picked up as many stitches in the very thin red yarn to match it to the very heavy brown yarn, it's still, because it's just got nothing to hold it really. It's not got any structure. So I need to block it so that it's all straight and the same. And then when I'm all done blocking it, and I didn't wash this after I did my swatch, which I should have done, because this really is unwashed, so it's going to bloom a lot.
Right.
So when I'm all done, then I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to seam that down right there, very like maybe a whip stitch, a kind of under it, so you don't see it that much.
Mm-hmm. What does the rest of the sweater look like?
So the rest of the sweater is here.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh.
I love it.
Can you see that? So, and I knit it from the bottom up to my armpits.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did a provisional cast on, because I have really long arms and I like long sleeves. So I then did a provisional cast on here, and she talks about that in TinCanKnits. And then I did my Fair Isle, and I did it in a pretty traditional. So I went up. The tradition, especially in an Icelandic sweater, the pattern is in the round and not a wedge pattern, is to go up. You go up a third, and you do knit one, knit two together. And then you go up a third of that third, and you knit one, two together. And then you go up a third of the second third, and you knit one, two together. So I just did that traditionally.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got here, when I got just above the pattern, I cast on, I bound this off, and I cast on 9 stitches, and then proceeded to work in the sweater, including the hood. So this was not, the corrugated rib wasn't part of it. It looked like that there. There. With 9 stitches in here. With 9 stitches in here. And then when I was all done and I had the hood where I wanted it, then I just cut it and did the finishing.
And Lorraine, that's really, if you wanted to do anything in the realm of steeking, that 9 stitches would work, really, just on any part, pretty much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Some people, if you're working with a true Shetland, like this sweater is a true Shetland.
Mm-hmm.
So I could have just cut it and frayed a couple of stitches and,
right.
and knotted it. But that 9, I'm just not, if the yarn isn't sticky, it doesn't work. Like I would not even do 9 stitches for a washable. I wouldn't do 9 stitches for a blend with cotton or nylon, only 100%.